love fighting? No, I mean not this fighting, but something like this. So in honor of every animator who's worked for the lowest wage possible and given us great fight scenes, here is a top 10 video where I rank the best martial arts anime with an overpowered protagonist plus great hand-to-hand combat scenes. Here we go. First up in our list is an anime that blends traditional martial arts with supernatural powers that come in the form of an inconspicuous tattoo. The story is centralized around Seigi, who is a middle schooler who happens to be trained in martial arts. He finds himself involved in a fight to help save a homeless man from being picked on by a bunch of street thugs one day, as per his spirit to protect the weaker people around him. In return of Seigi's help, the man gives him a strange tattoo on his palm. The tattoo was none other than a weapon produced during the arms race between America and the Serenistan Kingdom. This tattoo ends up pulling Seigi into an entirely different world than he is used to, as he starts being pursued by a very powerful girl that attempts to take back the tattoo. He puts his skills to the test just to stay alive, and hopefully learn how his newfound powers work in order to use them to survive the oncoming onslaught. The anime is praised for being a perfect fit in the action genre, as it contains perfectly choreographed action scenes with a beautiful art style. While some critique the story to be somewhat generic, if you're a fan of anime with a fair share of hot-blooded fighting action, this should definitely be on your watch list. Next up on our list may seem deceptively simple, but many consider that to be a part of its charm. Katanagatari is a rare anime that breaks the norm of a traditional episode runtime by making each of its episodes 50 minutes, as each episode was released on a monthly basis. The story takes place in Edo-era Japan, as it is centralized around Shichika Yasuri, an exiled war hero and the 7th head of the Kyoto Ryu School of Fighting. Out of the various sword styles that existed within the era, Shichika practiced the most extraordinary, named Kyoto-ryu, a series which consists of the user using his own body as a blade. Shichika lived a quiet life in exile with his sister before a strangest named Togame ends up making an appearance in his life. Togame persuades Shichika to take part in a quest alongside her to retrieve 12 notoriously unique swords named Deviant Blades, as they set off to face dangers previously unthought of in order to make this endeavor a success. Praised by many for its capacity to stay fresh even in its simple premise, Katanagatari is known for its dialogue-heavy narrative. After all, the light novel the anime is based off of is created by the same author that wrote Bakemonogatari. However, when the action does get going, get ready for a wild ride, as it does not disappoint. Hitori no Shita is an anime with a rather mixed reception. It's based off of a Chinese webtoon named Yiren Zija, and the anime adaptation ran for 2 strong seasons. The anime is centralized around Zhang Chulan, who ends up getting attacked by zombies on his way to visit his grandfather's grave. In the middle of this hostile situation, a mysterious girl who wields kitchen knives as weapons arrived in the nick of time and saves him from trouble. After the bizarre encounter, Zhang finds his own life turned upside down as he ends up meeting the same girl again in his university. He begins to face off various adversaries with the martial arts techniques taught to him by his grandfather, named Kitagen. The story is centralized around Zhang trying to find out the truth behind his grandfather's past and his connection to the mysterious girl that became a part of his life. Taking a traditional approach to martial arts along with supernatural elements is something that is seen in many anime, and this particular one does it surprisingly well. This is an anime that is well known within the action anime genre, and its reception is well deserved. Kenichi Shirahama is a school student that is known for his studious nature, but in an effort to become strong, he takes a chance by joining the school's karate club. However, the upperclassmen bullies see this as an opportunity as they use the karate club as an excuse to beat him up in order to get him kicked out of the club. While he was close to giving up, his newfound interest in fellow new classmate Miyu Funinji causes him to train extra hard under the tutelage of the dojo she resides resides in. Don't let the simplistic nature of the story and its rather crude-looking art style fool you. This is an anime that will keep you gravitated towards it with various elements and hit all of your expectations when the action takes place. Even though it starts rather slow, it's a must-watch for any fan of action anime. Fist of the North Star, or Hokuto no Ken, as it is known in Japan, is a legendary anime that achieved prime meme status due to one particular scene. With the main character that is obviously inspired by Bruce Lee, Fist of the North Star takes place in a post-apocalyptic wasteland. The brave protagonist of the show, Kenshiro, is a warrior that is hunting down his rival Shen in order to rescue his kidnapped fiancée, Yuria. Throughout the anime, Kenshiro uses a deadly martial arts form named Hokuto Shiken in order to help the ones that needed it and defend himself. However, he ends up grabbing the attention of greater enemies along the way, as he is faced with ever-increasing odds. For an anime that was originally released in 1986, it's still beloved by many fans of the genre. As a more recent addition to the action anime genre, this anime was well praised for its amazing art style and beautifully choreographed fight scenes. The story is centralized around Taekwondo expert Jin Mori, as he is invited to take part in the God of High School tournament. The tournament seeks out the greatest fighter amongst Korean high school students, and the grand prize of it all, one wish for anything that is desired by the winner. Nothing is prohibited, as every style of fighting and weapons are allowed. Along the way, he befriends karate specialist Han Dae-wi and swordsman Yu Mira, who are taking part in the competition for their own personal reasons. While Jin knows that the tournament will constantly surprise him with new challenges, and that every challenge along the way is ruthless, he finds the prospect of it all exciting irregardless. However, not all of it is as it seems, as there seems to be an underlying secret behind the tournament, as one Korean political candidate, Park Moo-jin, watches each fighter eagerly. This is the kind of anime that will hook you from the first episode. While many claim the story to be nothing special, the real beauty of this anime lies in the action and amazing art style. Kengan Ashura's surprise release in the mid to late 2019 season surprised a lot of people, as it clearly draws inspiration from another well-known fighting anime named Baki. Our story takes place in a world where business decisions are taken by gladiator combat. Most businesses hire strong gladiators to represent them in fights that are purely there for these wealthy businesses and merchants to settle their disputes. It was a practice that had been in place since the Edo period. Our main character, Oma Tokita, is a striving fighter who is trying to prove himself to be the strongest. A member of the Nogi group named Hideki hires Oma along with an average middle-aged man named Kazuo Yamashita as a manager. The two are then made to take part in fights facilitated by the Kengan Association. As tough as the journey ahead is, Oma's drive to be the best causes him to face the challenges head-on. While some people claim that the CGI art style that they follow takes the magic out of the anime, the action and tension of the overall experience is still a sight to behold. We're finally reaching the top 3 of our list, and Baki's position as the number 3 in our list is well deserved. As an anime adaptation of a manga that came out in 1991, the series already had its solid fanbase long before the story reached its anime form. The story is centralized around Hanma Baki, a boy that is born under an unlucky star. Baki had been indulging himself in rigorous training in all forms of martial arts since he was born. This was done in hopes of achieving his father's rule of Baki, surprising his father at his coming of age. However, that would not be an easy feat, as Baki's father, Hanma Yujiro, is known to be the most powerful creature walking on Earth. Due to his tendency to attract trouble in every turn of life, Baki realized that his way of life is to be the most powerful. Baki sets off on a journey to train under different masters and reach new heights, all in hopes of one day becoming the strongest man on Earth. Considered by many to be a true tournament arc anime, Baki's art style is truly a one-of-a-kind, and each episode gives you that hyped feeling you can get from no other anime. Combined with the rather expressive art style along with amazing sound design, and this makes Baki legendary in its own right. Number 2 on our list is a work of art that is made to be shown off in our list. While it is a stretch to call this particular series an anime, the more realistic term that it's a combination of Japanese and Chinese animation. This legendary anime was created by the combined efforts of just 7 people. The story is rather simple, as it speaks of a world where monsters could give certain elected people the ability to master the 5 elements, and you end up following one of these elected officials. The art style and animation are considered by the masses to be god tier. This is one anime that you absolutely have to watch for the fight scenes alone. While Fog Hill of the 5 Elements only has 3 episodes out, there are talks of a continuation happening very soon, and we are more than excited to see more. 全部てめえのせいか。Hajime no Ippo takes number 1 on our list, as it is considered to be the definitive boxing anime by the masses. Praised by its fans for its accurate display of boxing and its intricacies, Hajime no Ippo is definitely a love letter to the competitive sport of boxing. The story follows Makunochi Ippo, who is a school student that has been bullied his entire life. He constantly runs around and finds himself being beaten up by his classmates. One day, Ippo is saved by Takamura Mamoru from a bunch of bullies, as Ippo faints from his injuries. Ippo was taken by Takamura to the Kamigawa boxing gym to recover. As Ippo regains consciousness, he is mesmerized by his surroundings as he asks Takamura to train him in the art of boxing. From that point onward, the story goes forward as it shows off Ippo's journey to the top in the world of boxing. When a lot of people initially approach this anime with skepticism, we can't help but blame them. After all, it looks like it is 76 episodes of fighting in a small boxing ring. However, you would be surprised at the amount of depth this anime has in terms of its portrayal of the sport, along with its characters. Well, with that, we have reached the end of this video. Did you like the list? Do tell me in the comments below if you can think of any other anime that deserve to be on this list. If you enjoyed the content, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell notification button for more updates. That said, I'll see you guys in the next video.